I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Oh my god, he fucking knows. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I can't say anything or else it's a spoiler. Hey guys, this is Hillary. Welcome back to Offbeat LP. We're talking to Dr. John about voodoo in New Orleans. And I'm just going to keep talking to him and see if he has anything else to say about current voodoo.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
You have tapped my resources. My expertise is really historical. Perhaps Ms. Moonbeam can be of further help.
Let's see what he says about hoodoo.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the Grigri are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
It's more, not superstition, but like...
Is there anything else I should know about hoodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Okay. So, I'd like to ask about the voodoo murders.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
New Orleans is a really special and really unique place. There is no place like it elsewhere in the States or anywhere, I think.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gar means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I have not.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Dr. John is really interesting.
Just tell me anything.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Oh my god, he fucking knows. He fucking... Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I can't say anything or else it's a spoiler. But, like... Okay, okay. Just, like, stow that in your mind if you don't know the end to this game. Oh my god. But I was just saying, Dr. John is so interesting. I feel like he could have, he could have, like, so much more of a backstory and be such a more fleshed out character.
Just tell me anything.
I do not care for small, Mr. Knight.
Alright.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then, let us discuss something else.
I think we got everything. We got a bunch of, new stuff that, like, opened up. I'm just gonna... So, I think I said this before when I was recording, but I had to cut it. I've been to New Orleans once. It was in 2007. And there is a voodoo museum in the French Quarter. And I've been there, and it has a layout, like the room, it's relatively small, that is not dissimilar from this. So I think this is based off of that voodoo museum. And the proprietor was really nice that I met. He was a voodoo priest. And I like that they have so much historical information in this game, and that they put so much into the background that's really real. I don't like the way they choose to portray stuff in the end, and I'll get more into that in the end. And I think a lot of people will disagree with me. This is a personal opinion. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. I still like this game because it's a very well-made game. I think the story's amazing, and the set and like everything they put into the setting and background is so detailed and amazing. But I have like complicated feelings about certain aspects of it. But anyway, just wanted to add that. I love all the detail and everything of this.
A very large, very formidable looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
What is this?
That must be Marie Laveau.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. We saw that.
An official voodoo wishing stump. Rub it and make a wish, a card said.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
Okay, Gabriel, just calm your tits. Did I do this to Robert?
Even if that were for sale, Gabe.
Okay, shush. This. Yeah, okay.
I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs.
Okay, we're leaving. We're leaving now. Yeah, you're done. You're done,
The
dude.
doorway is already open.
I'm going... These controls are gonna drive me up the freaking wall. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Bye now.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
He's so much more serious. He's so up to here with Gabriel's shit. Okay, we're gonna go to the cemetery before we visit Ms. Moonbeam. We're gonna go to the cemetery. We need to talk to this man.
Could I have a minute of your time?
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
That is for certain. Okay.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tour. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Why, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get some weird goings-on in that cemetery on that night. More often a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and more.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do with them, but it can't be pretty.
Do you have any idea what Caprice sans cœur means?
No, can't say that I do.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooine and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings and that. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once today. But Marie Laveau's tomb ain't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
I love his voice. It's so...
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Her tomb's on all our tours. Even the Baptists come round here to gawk. Course, you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all, but down in an unmarked tomb in number 3. It's all the same to me, I say. Save me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Boy, go out and buy a book if you really want to know. I ain't too sure my facts these days nohow.
Fair. I think that's it.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know what you talking about.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis number 1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, cause, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound they don't know what they doing.
So I got a text from my friend. You might have heard that. So I wonder if there's anything else you have to say about himself.
Tell me about yourself.
Interesting.
That's about all there is to say.
Okay.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and calm green. Animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning.
Nope.
And this at one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves. Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
Okay. Enough. Thank you, sir. Okay. So, let's take a look at this. Okay. So, we want to draw this in our journal.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Yep. Okay. There's like a, what's that, like a hole? It's hard to tell with these graphics exactly what things are. What's this?
Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick.
Oh, okay.
Undoubtedly a cast-off from spiritual graffiti writers.
Oh, he's gone. Sorry, I was just like looking down for a sec. Do I take this? Now I have a brick.
Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings from believers.
Can we walk around other... I can't remember if we can walk around other parts. Yeah, we can go over here. Okay. There's our friend. And...
the Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here. The marker reads, Mera Planta Wright.
These are Grand's folks. I never knew.
Oh, my friend.
The marker reads, Franklin Wright.
These are Grand's folks. I never knew.
The marker reads, Harley Wright.
Grand's sister. She died young.
The marker reads, Harrison Knight.
Granddaddy.
The marker reads, Philip Knight.
Daddy.
The marker reads, Margaret Templeton Knight.
My mother.
Vases seem to be a favorite decoration. San Luis Cemetery, number 1, is one of the most historic and beautiful places in the French Quarter.
I didn't visit here when I was in New Orleans, and I kind of regret it because it's so beautiful and historic, and also because I think it might be closed now, or access to it is restricted. Yeah.
Vases seem to be a favorite decoration.
And that might be
San
wrong,
Luis
but
Cemetery.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's the case. So that includes access to Marie Laveau's tomb. But I'd love to go someday if it ever is open again. Can we go over here? I don't know. Oh. Here's the Getty tomb. Okay. God, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. This is like fallen angel. It's like oh, it's a fallen angel. Is that what it is? Excuse me.
An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb.
I feel like are we supposed to wait?
The doors are heavy and shut tight.
I think we might be doing this in the wrong order.
There's a small marble plate near the tomb doors.
Can I touch it?
The plate is locked in position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key. To the east, there is only the back wall of the cemetery. Gabriel cannot go any further in that direction.
Don't know if... Hold on, can we... Let me figure out where we should go next. Gabriel, get out! Get out, man! No. Leave. Okay. Guess we could go to... Yeah, we should go see Ms. Moonbeam, Madam Moonbeam. Magentia Moonbeam, that is a name.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Well, where to begin?
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
Okay.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands.
Okay.
I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint Coeur means?
No. No, I don't.
Wow, she definitely does.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
The flat way she answered that was really interesting.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How'd you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes.
Queen Tabitha sounds like the name of a cat. Okay.
What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
It's very vague.
Do you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen, and that is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
That's kind of interesting, because Kansas is such a... I know my dad's from Kansas. It's not like New Orleans. Not a lot of voodoo yens in Kansas.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I am well versed in the magical art.
I just like the random things they say.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Wow, that's some
I
confidence.
can't think of anything.
Very well.
I kind of have a tendency to see her as being very, flighty and non-serious, but she definitely knows things that she's not telling us. I feel like second time around with her, I'm kind of, there's more to her.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They are too close.
Close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Okay.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Where'd you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
That's true.
I only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Ah, fascinating.
We're gonna come back to
Nothing,
that.
never mind.
All right.
Yeah, tell me about
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
I feel like there's only a very small part of the population that would be interested in spiritual advice like gambling. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Okay. Let's see. She can tell us about this.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
Let's see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and a J, and then... Okay, this part makes sense. It says, conclave tonight, bring... then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H. Well, that last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash? It doesn't make much sense.
That's okay, thanks.
It's something. Alright.
DJ Conclave. K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm happy I could help.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here, guys, because we have found out a lot, but we're gonna maybe talk about a few more things with Magenta Moonbeam and do some more investigating. We're making really good progress, so thank you so much for coming on this journey with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!